when Barney died in September 1970, I had just started at Michigan. I was a freshman.
Yeah.
I flew into Pittsburgh. We went to the funeral home in Washington,
Mm-hmm.
and everybody's gathering around before.
Yeah, I was there.
And my dad comes over to me and he says, "If you had another brother or sister, wouldn't you want to know them?"
Yeah.
And I said, "Yeah." And then he says to me, "Look in this corner over here." And there was a woman standing there who was the spitting image of my grandfather. And my dad said that my mother and Sarah, they never wanted to have anything to do with her. And he did support her.
Yeah. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So, well, he was in the United States for what? 13 years?
I don't know, whenever Sarah came.
Sarah came, 11 years before Sarah came.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
So he was shacking up.
yeah,
Okay. Not unusual.
it wasn't.
I will tell you this much, that most of these men that came from Europe
Yeah,
were all playing around with other women, including my dad.
really.
Yes. All of them.
What was there?
Well, I tried to analyze that once, and I figured out that in Europe, they probably messed around with the peasant girls,
Uh-huh.
and they came to this country, and they figured that was the same thing,
Got it.
Anyway, let's go on with the story. Uh, the as far as Washington was concerned, my mother was always disgusted with him. She didn't want anything to do with him.
You mean with Dave and...
Yeah. She liked Merrill. She didn't care too much for Barney. And maybe she knew about those things.
Did she know that your dad fooled around?
Oh, yeah. Believe me, she would. And anyway, getting back to the story, as far as Barney was concerned, whenever I would, go through Washington, I'd always come to see him. Arthur, on the other hand, I would not. I didn't like him. Dave built a big horse farm in Hickory, Pennsylvania. We had over 50 horses.
I remember going there as a child. I went there.
He had, sulky horses, that raised in the different places. Well, when he passed away, Arthur just messed the whole thing up. And we have this meadows down here.
Meadowlands.
In the beginning, Arthur was an investor in that. But
I actually remember being taken there once with my grandfather.
one day, Dave called me. I was in the machine business then, and he asked me to come to Washington. I came to Washington, and he said, "Ed, what do you think we should do with all these stores? The business is starting to get down." I said, "Dave, the story of the big plants are over, and what you should do is take those stores and open small dry cleaning places, and like say you had one plant, maybe run 2 or 3 stores into that plant, and get rid of this big plant." Arthur didn't want any parts about it, and eventually he lost it. And anyway, as far as the horse farm is concerned, there's always a story. One of the Zellick's daughters, I forget which one, was married to a man who was also in the horse business. You knew that was?
Oh, you mean Beverly?
Yeah, what was her husband's name? Not Beverly was married to Kenny.
No. Oh, you mean Dolores was married to Marvin Gross.
Right. Well, Marvin came down one day and wanted to buy a horse from Arthur. And Arthur wanted, I think, I don't know, 15,000 or so. And Marvin said, "Fine, I'll pay it." And then he left. his horse to someone for less money. And I said to him, well, what the hell kind of a guy are you? He says, I don't want my relatives making money on me. That was his attitude.
Ugh.
So he was something else. And, you know, I don't know whether you know it or not, but the Jewish gangster worked there to protect Dave against the Union. I forget his name. And he worked at the plant, and they had him on the payroll. He didn't do anything.
Huh.
But he was there every day. And he was, you know, from Fifth Avenue in Pittsburgh. I don't know. There was always shady things going on with Dave Resnick, I can tell you that right now.
Now, Uncle Zelig was the opposite of that.
No, Uncle Zelig has another story. What he did is he ran away